Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Now, let's allow you to see me a little better.
I can't hear.
How's that?
It's good.
Good. Where are you calling from?
California.
California. Jealous. Gabriella, where are you calling from?
The same place, California.
California. Which university?
Cal State LA.
Cal State LA. Can I get an invitation to Cal State LA?
Sure.
Send an email to your administration. I would love a trip to California. Oh yeah, and I would like to talk to you too. To you too as well.
Where are you from? Where at?
I'm from Dallas, Texas, but we are now in Michigan.
That's pretty different.
Oh yeah. Better. Yeah. Big difference. Only been to California once. I went to San Diego.
It's a good spot.
All right. So, what are your majors?
Biology.
Biology.
Same.
All right. What are you planning on doing with it?
We're both trying to get our PhDs, so we're applying to PhD programs this year.
Okay. Are you planning to use your PhD to do research and teach, or
Be a professor.
Professors? Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, we're both working on our personal statements right now
Okay.
for schools.
I think that's actually one of the that's going to be one of the subject matters.
Oh, very cool. If we're hoping so. Very cool.
Either of you coming to the LSMCE conference this year?
I applied for a scholarship, but I don't know if I got it.
I'll ask Dev when people find that out. Is that
It's on the 29th or something like that. I think it's soon. I think it's this one.
soon? Okay. And I'll be right back and grab a glass of water.
Can you hear me? I think this is my good side.
This is my good side. Do I have to wear the earphones? Maybe that way. I don't hear it.
We can share screens.
That's what I was thinking to do better. Yeah, I think
I can see your side.
that's weird. I was going to put this on. Maybe that'll help. Okay.
Actually, if you have your chat feature, could you go ahead and put your name? Let's see what you have to type so I don't get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So it's name, college, and email. Name, college, and email. And while you're doing that, I'm going to fix something.
You figure it out?
All right. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get my screen shared. Yep, we have a few students who have began typing their institution.
Fantastic. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate that.
All right. Can you guys tell me how well you can see my screen?
Well,
Looks good?
Mhm.
All right.
tomorrow's meeting is at 3, right? Soccer's meeting?
Hello, Danielle.
Hi.
Where are you calling from?
I'm from Marion University.
Marion University. If you can put your name, university, and email in the chat box, Danielle.
Okay.
We lost Gabriella. Where did she go?
And you said my name, my university, and what else?
And email address. Give me 1 second here. All right. We are going to start in 2 minutes. Usually give a little grace period. I know a lot of people dial in at the time, and then you struggle with trying to log in. Candace or Danielle, you have any issues logging in?
No, mine was fine.
Okay.
My laptop died on me, but that wasn't really a issue with the chat.
All right. Well, let's get started tonight. Tonight's call is going to be on a very interesting subject matter. It's going to be on personal branding, but before we get into that, we just want to kind of highlight what our overall purpose is, and it's to give you some practical skills and techniques on this journey you guys are on to help you be more successful, more productive, more effective. And it goes across different spectrums. So this is in school, with your academics, in your professional career, which sometimes for us, academics and professional crossover, and then also in your personal life. So like we said tonight, it's personal brand management, and it's about telling your story and your brand. And I think that many times in school, we're not really focused on our brand, right? It's about making the grades, it's about progressing, and it's about getting the bachelor's, getting the master's, getting the PhD, getting the tenured position at the university. It's about these milestones. And we forget on that process sometimes that we have a story, we have a brand, we have a personality that we can convey. And so today, we're just going to talk about some different skills and techniques that you can use to help build your brand. Because I believe so far, I know Candace is going to be a professor. And Danielle, what interest do you have?
Like career-wise?
Yes.
Right. Right now I'm like going back and forth between either being like a physician assistant or trying to go for like actual physician and emergency medicine.
Okay.
Those are the goals.
And then one day you're going to write a book about it. And then have your own television show about emergency medicine. Right? with guest speaker, Dr. Limper from California will be your guest speaker on your show.
That'd be fun.
All right. So just real quick, I mean, you guys saw my profile. It's really not, we're not going to go too deep into that. So we'll progress tonight. All right. So this week we're going to do a little icebreaker, and it's going to be called Name That Brand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably have one or two, maybe even three words. And with just those 2 or 3 words, I want you to tell me what you think this brand is.
Apple.
Windows.
Apple. Great job. All right, here we go.
Kellogg's.
Great job. So the reason that we chose this as an icebreaker, one, to kind of loosen us up, get us talking tonight. 2 is the fact that with 2 words and then with 3 words, you were able to identify a brand. And it's not like these are the only brands in those spaces. You could have said General Mills, right? You could have said, like you said, Microsoft. You could have said all kind of items, but these are the people who have branded themselves so well that when you say 2 or 3 words, they are what come to your mind. Now, because we don't have a physical brand like this, we are the brand. Every interaction you have with someone, every publication you have, every paper you write, all of these things are your opportunities to promote your brand and develop your brand. All right. So who knows what this 7 seconds means?
Is it the elevator thing? You have 7 seconds to pitch something in the elevator.
All right, 7 seconds to make a first impression. So we're going to play a little game with you. All right, let's see how we do. But what's going to happen is I'm going to have a brand that comes up. And when the brand comes up, I want you to just shout out as many things that come to your mind as it pertains to that brand. Okay? Here we go.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
Okay, we're going to...
Oh, no.
Hey, but it's Michael Jordan, so it's like you got it right. These are just some things I'm throwing up there. Here we go. Here's another one.
Spicy.
Salmonella.
Yeah.
All right. One more.
Cheap.
Greasy.
Greasy and cheap. Fast, fun, value menu. So one of the things that this little exercise does for us is it kind of proves that the 7 seconds works, right? You really don't need that long of a period of time to build an understanding of something. And one of the beauties about what we just did was, if you noticed, when Chipotle came up, someone said, what do you say, like average, or what was the statement?
Salmonella.
Yeah. Oh, no. The salmonella, the listeria outbreak. I think they've overcome that in California now, right? Have they?
I think it's happened a couple of times.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
But you had an opinion, right? Have you ever been to Chipotle?
Mm-hmm.
Does it taste good to you?
Yeah, it tastes good. Tastes really good.
Think about that. It tastes good to you, But the first thing that comes to your mind right now is the outbreak, because of how fragile a brand is. When I used to work with Kellogg, they would say your reputation is as fragile as a cornflake, and it really is. And we're going to talk about a little bit later about how fragile our brands really are. So, Danielle, can you read this for me?
Sure. Personal branding describes the process by which individuals and entrepreneurs differentiate themselves and stand out from a crowd by identifying and articulating their unique value proposition, whether professional or personal, and then leveraging it across platforms with a consistent message and image to achieve a specific goal.
All right. So when we think about a brand, I don't want you guys to think like, oh man, I'm just trying to promote myself and make myself look good. It's really about just differentiating yourself. Each of you are going to go into your careers. You're going to go into your different business ventures and different things in life. And all we're trying to do is differentiate ourselves as you're trying to achieve your greatness. So, Candace, if you become a professor, and you're doing some research, your goal is to be in the top of your field, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And so to be in the top of your field, you have to differentiate yourself. Once you understand how to differentiate yourself, now you want to leverage that across different platforms, and you want it to be as consistent as possible. So if Deb and the LSMCE organization receives a phone call about Brian Thomas and KIPNspire, if a university I traveled to and spoke to calls and says, hey, how have your interactions been with Brian Thomas? That they're consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And the more consistent they are, that's when people trust you. Think about Starbucks and think about McDonald's. They're on every corner, it seems like, in America. And one of the reasons that it works is because when you go to these establishments, you know what you're going to get. How many times have you gone to like for us, we have Walmart and we have a store called Myers. In California, what is one of your kind of big stores like that you have?
Target.
Like a Target? Okay. Have you ever gone to a Target, but the Target had a different layout of the store and it frustrated you than the typical layout? Have you ever gone to a store and you're like, oh, it's JCPenney or it's so-and-so, and then all of a sudden you get inside and the layout of the store is different?
Mm-hmm.
And that's about the consistency piece. We really want to be consistent so people don't ever get frustrated about our brand. All right? Any questions on that? Okay, so this next one is going to be something that's fun because I think I'm going to get you. I've never had anyone figure this out before. If you figure this out, you're the smartest students I've ever ran across. Here we go. You ready? All right, Carl Jung has 4 functions of the mind. We're going to work through these 4 functions. What is the first function?
Not sure.
Give it one guess.
I want to say genius, but it's not the right letters.
That's
Yeah,
what I said.
and I'm pretty sure you're also thinking about Genesis.
Yeah.
It's neither one. Insane.
Is that one intuition?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking for the next one.
What's the next one then?
The last one's feeling. Thinking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's two things that's important about this. The very first thing is this. When someone meets you, when you have an interaction with them, when your brand is being critiqued, there's a sense there's an intuition, there's a thought, and then there's a feeling that takes place. And in that process, that is how they're developing their what? Perceived value. Through that process, they're developing a perceived value of you. And that sounds kind of, it's like, man, somebody's doing that in such a short period of time. Absolutely. We do it to each other all day, right? That's how our brain is processing. Now, with that being said, there's another very interesting thing that happened, and it always happens to your brain when I present this slide. When I presented the slides like this, and I kind of put my cursor here on the sensing, you had no idea what this was, and all of this kind of seemed confusing. But as soon as I provided sensing in its clear and appropriate state, all of the other ones started to seem like they made a little bit more sense, right? And so that's kind of something I want you to think about your brand is when you present yourself appropriately. Say, for instance, I went into a job interview, and on the job interview, I walked in and I wasn't dressed appropriately. My hair was a mess. Makeup, I forgot to do my makeup that day, and I'm looking crazy, right? And do you think they're going to give me a chance to try to find out about me that much?
Not really.
That's what this looks like. All of the good things about you are looking like this. Why? Because this is the way you presented yourself. But when you present yourself well, you maybe wake up, you comb your hair, you have nice perfume, you practice, you look very professional, you look very confident. Now, all of a sudden, these other things start to look clearer about you, and people want to look deeper and understand more about you. So it's just one of those things about that first introduction. When you present yourself like Genesis or genius, when you're really sensing, people get a false interpretation of who you really are. And so it's very critical that you think about your brand. While you're on your college campuses, this is a great opportunity to practice. Like you have a chance to mold your brand. You don't have to have a perfect brand today. Deb and the LSMCE team, they've seen me evolve over the last few years. My brand is a much more seasoned and more professional and more prepared for larger audience brand than when I first started, because I was a rookie and they gave me an opportunity, right? They have seen that evolution of me, and so it can change, but the thing is, you got to put something out there, right? And the reason that it's important to put something out there is if you do not put a brand out there, someone's going to develop an opinion about you. So if they're already going to develop an opinion, you might as well give them something to develop it about. You put the brand out there. All right. So one other thing we talked about, you guys used the Chipotle an example, and it's about loyalty, loyal customers' feedback. The statistics are crazy that people actually think about it this way. You said the Chipotle outbreak, but how many times have you gone to Chipotle and had a delicious meal? Great, a number of times. But the one bad experience that you have is the one that you usually publicize and remember the most. And it's crazy that that's the way the mind does it. But not many times. Maybe I go to my favorite restaurant 49 times, and the food is delicious. But then I go to that restaurant one time, and the waiter or waitress treats me terrible. The food is terrible. It's likely I'm going on social media, and I'm just going to put them on blast. And I'm going to talk about them on social media. When the 49 times that they treated me well, I didn't say a single word. And so it's because we now know that, it's not like we can change it, right? We can't change other people's opinions. But because we know that, it makes us even more critical about protecting our brand, making sure that we're doing well. Okay? Any questions on anything we talked about so far? Any insightful? Has anything been a little insightful so far?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So let's keep it moving. So some people wonder with their brand, they wonder like, what is my brand? Like, what does that mean? How do you know what your brand is? I see both of you like shaking your head like, yeah, what does that mean? So we're not going to get too fancy. I'm just going to throw a couple items up here. And I want to know if you kind of look at this list and think about how you fit inside of some of these categories. Would this help shape your brand? Like, how do you fit? Like, what special skills do you have, Danielle? You know, you want to be in emergency medicine. Like, is there something is there an energy you bring? Is there like, man, emergency? Like, I really like things fast paced. I like my blood pumping and I like to be on the spot. Like, what is that?
Yeah, I always like it when it's a lot of variety type stuff. If it's the same thing every day, I get bored kind of easily. Like on the screen, like I like to think I have a positive attitude. I go with the flow pretty well.
So for you, Danielle, it may not be as much about like you want to be a visionary, like you want to sit back and have these deep sessions of thought. You want to just like go,
Yeah.
right? So when you're building your brand and people are like, Danielle, it's like spontaneous. Like if there was an event and you had maybe like an hour to prepare for it, you're the type of person that may do it. Now, Candace, I don't know. Candace, are you the type of person that if I told you in 30 minutes we're going somewhere, you're like, hey, let's rock and roll?
I probably wouldn't be down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need more time.
Candace may need more time because I know you want to be a professor, Candace. You may be more in the world of the visionary. You may want to think about the ideas. Am I right or wrong?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
You know, and it doesn't make us right or wrong. None of these is right or wrong. It's just who we are and how we're made up, right? Somehow I was designed in such a way that I think it's cool on a Wednesday night to do a virtual learning session. Like, this is pretty neat to me. Not because I'm full of energy. I have passion for education, and I have a unique set of skills. My special skills isn't really something that I can kind of put my hand on. Mine is like, I have an ability to take a very large amount of information and a range of experiences and bring them together and explain them in a very simplistic way. Right? And so that's kind of my brand. That's who I am. But hopefully, you know, some of these items will help you kind of shape your brand, and there's probably more. I just thought these were some really simple ones to kind of help you think about yourself, and when you do this and people get your business cards, people look at a website, people look at your publications, these things should come out. Like, that should pop out of your everything you do. So if you're like, hey, I'm a visionary, well, almost everything you do should come out as like, wow, this girl's really a visionary. And sometimes it gets so deep, guys, that it goes all the way into like your attire and how you dress. You know, if you think about it, that's the reason why we have brands and clothes. That's the whole point, right? And so I don't know, math and science, sometimes I don't think we think of ourselves that way, but I did. And that's why a few years ago, I decided to do this. Learning professional development skills. But I'm a STEM guy. But what we're learning today is really not about STEM. This can cross any platform. Any student in your university could be learning from this. You know, so really think outside of the box with your brand as well. Yeah, you don't have to limit yourself. All right, so now the social media impact. So last call, I learned a lot about different social media platforms. I think I'm now on them all, except I'm not so good at Snapchat. Who can teach me? No, I'm really good on Instagram now. I'm getting much better, but the Snapchat, I'm kind of struggling. Let's see if I can. I'll Snapchat myself doing a virtual learning session. So pros. Give me a couple pros for social media.
Connected.
Connected.
Very accessible.
Very accessible. Give me another one.
Free.
Free. All right, let's see. Connected, accessible, free, visible, networking, fun, laugh, play games. Does anyone on here other than me get invited to play Candy Crush every day? Or
Maybe.
I'm probably the one sending you the invite.
all right, so those are the pros. Now give me some cons. What are some of the cons to the social media impact on your brand?
Probably also visibility.
What was that?
Visibility, like all the good stuff is visible, but also like the not so like professional, like the more casual you that you might not want to have being seen by your work.
So let's see what we got here.
All that though.
Ooh, the cons. The bad language, the inappropriate jokes, the inappropriate games and pictures, and people losing their jobs and being removed from school. That's kind of harsh stuff I wrote on there, right?
Right.
But it's reality, though. How many people here know that their student code of conduct also includes social media? No? Anyone?
I've glanced at the social conduct. Not something I retain very well.
And you signed it, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's becoming more and more of a thing, but I can tell you that in some of our professional schools on the Indiana University Purdue University campus, and in some of the graduate programs, that the student code of conduct now does include social media, and there have been instances where students were taken out of the program because of this.
I know that you can block your social, I know at least on Facebook, so that nobody can see it unless you're friends. I mean, assuming you'd only add your like non-professional friends.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And there's also like different levels, like you can do like friends but not acquaintances, or like close friends and family but not friends, stuff like that.
Yeah, and I would say to that, definitely if you can kind of understand those different levels, but also consider this. Even if I share it with a friend, all I need to do is find a friend. So I don't even have to be friends of yours to find stuff about you. All I need to do is be a friend of your friend.
Mm-hmm.
And what if your friends aren't protected?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so really the overall theme is just be appropriate. You know, I won't even, you know, you kind of look at the word inappropriate, right? Just think about whatever you're doing, be appropriate. The challenge that we face these days is there's a lot of political commentary, and everybody wants to give their opinion, and they're like a news anchor, like when you go onto the social media, and it's okay, right? But if you go to my page, and a lot of people may say, "Hey, Brian, well, you know, you're not confident and you're not bold," and all I'm saying is this: if you want my opinion, I'll have a conversation with you about my opinion. And I'm only going to give it to you if I want to give it to you. Something that I can choose to or not to give you. On social media, I haven't been called in my heart or emotion to go and give any social commentary on some of the events and political things that happen. That just doesn't, for me, that's not the platform that I choose to, because it puts it in such a format that it can be misinterpreted so easy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I can have great intentions, right? I can have these great intentions and then mess around and type one word incorrectly, and because I'm from Texas and I live in Michigan, and you ladies are in California. Maybe the way of life is different, and you interpret what I said inappropriately, and now I lose my ability to do the virtual learning sessions, and I hurt my brand, and I hurt the ability to do business with you guys moving forward. All over me putting one Facebook post inappropriately. And it's like, wow, is it really worth it? And to me, it's not. So I choose to stay away from that. And like I said, everything, and this is just I don't want to feel like preaching, but this is a statement I want to make sure I give to college students. Everything that happens in the world and everything that you see, it doesn't require your opinion. Not everything. You know, sometimes, ooh, that works. All right. So, who has a website? Come on, we need a website.
Excuse me.
So, tell me, have you ever even thought about having your own website?
Do you mean like a LinkedIn profile kind of thing?
I mean a website called www.danielle, the emergency medicine specialist.com. Nope.
I've never thought about it before.
Candace, Dr. Limper, visionary.com.
Never
So,
thought about it.
one of the things that I want you to think about right now is while you're in college, your brand begins now. Your story is now. The impact that you can make on other people's lives is right now. People need to. You ladies are doing special things and you're about to go change the world. And we need to know that journey. We need to understand your story. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to go into overkill and post like, hey, I woke up this morning. Hey, my teeth. You know, you don't have to go crazy like some of the celebrities. But there's somebody that can be motivated by you. There's somebody that wants to give you an opportunity that maybe that network with. But if you don't expose those things, people don't know. A website, as a college student, is a great tool. And it shows, what do we say at the beginning? We want to differentiate ourselves from the competition, right? So, Candace, as you're developing your personal statement for the PhD program, and you say, hey, on your application, visit my website, Candace Limper, PhD is mygoal.com. You know, that looks very interesting to a person that's critiquing your application. It's something different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I love biology, Candace Limper biology. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Danielle Emergency is the name of my game.com. You know, so what is your interest? So like you kind of hear what I keep repeating is I'm repeating you guys' interest. What are you striving to be? I'm striving to be the emergency medicine leader. I'm striving to be the best biologist in the world in my space, because usually you're going to have a niche that you be. What experience do you have? You know, get a couple professional photos. You know, make yourself look nice. If you go to my website, I got a couple pictures, hey, smiling, different things. You know, what about a photo of your school, your activities? You know, maybe you did a summer internship, maybe any of your extracurricular activities, just to showcase to people that you do have a life beyond just the classroom. You know, because people do want to see that you're well-rounded. Now, you don't have to show them, you know, a picture of you at the club. You know, you know, make sure that it's a picture of you, you know, appropriate. Remember our social media, appropriate pictures. And then also links to your social media sites. So how many of you are comfortable if I had the ability to go on every one of your social media sites right now? So we got to tighten that up because we want that to be a yes. Why? Because you guys are going to be excellent at what you do, which means people are going to want to know who you are. Now, LinkedIn. Everybody has their LinkedIn profile, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Danielle. We're going to get it. Homework. So let's get that LinkedIn while you're in college, okay? It's going to help you when you start looking for jobs. People are recruiting. You're going to see if anybody makes it to the LSMCE conference. My first 7 slides for my presentation on Saturday morning are going to blow your mind. They're going to blow your mind, and they're the exact same slides. Different message in each one. And all I do is show you messages that come to me because people have found me. And you'll be shocked at what they're offering me. They're appropriate. These are good things. But because I presented myself, I have my professional resume online. There's millions of people out there who are just like going through these sites looking for people. It's one of the #1 recruiting tools in the world now. It's just like really changed the whole recruiting game as it pertains to universities and jobs. All right. Now, the other one is for us in the STEM world. Projects, publications, products. You want on your website, you can have links, different sites, right, that you've been published on. Maybe it's a link to a magazine. Maybe it's a link to the LSMCE website who maybe did a spotlight feature on you. You know,
Could be a cornerstone project that you did for one of your courses.
Yep. So now, because the website, some people think that it's like, wow, how can I afford that, right? Like, that sounds expensive. $10 doesn't sound so bad, does it? Netflix costs more than that. So now Deb and I talked before, and I'm happy she gave me this feedback, which would, these days there's different tools that you can use. You don't actually have to have a website. They have things called lead pages, which is like almost like it's like one page. It's not really like a website where you have the multiple pages. It's really like a header. But there's other options that are out there that are beyond just a website. But I just wanted to highlight that a domain name, the more creative you are with a domain name, usually the cheaper it is because people don't own it. There's actually a business where people buy the domain names and then you have to buy it from them. So if you do something like DanielleEmergencyMedicine.com, it's probably no one has that. It's a good possibility. So when I did my company, Knowledge is Power Inspiration, so KIPNspire, no one owned that. That was so different. It was unique. And you can use GoDaddy.com. You can use Domain.com. These are just a couple of the websites that can help teach you and guide you through website acquisition and development. All right. Now, our business cards. Who has them? I do. Come on, Danielle. We got to get those business cards. All right, here we go. We're going to learn a little bit. We need a nice professional photo. Candace, do you have your face on there? Come on, Candace. We need to see that smile. We need the smile. All right. A professional email. We don't need I love to play baseball at gmail.com. I love, I don't know, a television show. I love watching scandal.com at gmail.com. We need your professional email, your name, or just something professional. I've actually worked my entire career without my name being my email. Now, at work, at my professional in corporate America, yes. But from a business standpoint, I've actually never used my name, which is ironic. But because it's a professional email, it still works. So the key is just professional. Also, professional social media. So make sure that your LinkedIn maybe is on there and places that you want people to go that you're okay with. Precise statement about you. So your business card is kind of small, right? There's not a lot you can put on there. But you can put like a quick sentence or a quick few words to just highlight who you are. So for me, it may say something like speaker, author, corporate leader. You know, and in those few words, it encapsulates who I am. So you may say, Danielle, emergency medicine pioneer, right? And in just a few words, like, wow, I see that on a business card. It's like, what is this? Who is this? Who wants to be an emergency medicine pioneer? Something different, right? Because the goal is we want to remember you. We want to be remembered. That's what the brand is about. When I leave an interaction with you, do I still think about you? When you leave that restaurant, what's your favorite restaurant, Candace?
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. Oh, when you have a good, what is it? You like chalupas?
Bean and cheese burritos.
Bean and cheese burrito. Now, Candace, tell me, when you have just they make that bean and cheese burrito just perfect. Do you sometimes like you eat it and then like you think about it?
Yeah.
It's like,
this is
wow,
really good.
this is really good. Like they really made this special for me today. It's no different than our interactions, guys. I choose food because food has a way of touching our hearts, right? And so it's no different. I always say this. I had a friend that was telling me about my book. So I just finished my book, right? And I told him, I said, I don't know if my book is going to climb the charts, but I do know it can climb some hearts, right? And so my goal isn't to sell 1 million books. My goal is to impact a few lives, you know, and leave a positive imprint on the world. So when you think about these two, the personal website and the business card, show your professional side, show your fun side, but at the end of the day, show the impact that you want to leave in the world. And once again, look at the prices. Not so bad. But if you call in the next 30 minutes, you get a low discount of 20% off and free shipping. And this is real. Like the LSMCE organization has actually put this discount in. So all you have to do is go to vistaprint.com and put in the promo code first order, and it's all caps, first, FIRSTORDER, and you'll get 20% off and free shipping. So I believe where it says the $250 is down to $9.99, it drops it all the way down to like $6, maybe $6.99 or so. And that can go a long way. And you may wonder, like, man, I need more than $250. Actually, as a college student, 250 business cards is a good quantity. That's a nice quantity. That may last you the whole school year. You know, you may take like 20 or 30 with you at each conference. You know, but one of the things I do want to give you a little tip here about the business cards at conferences. Always take all of them. Take them all. Take more than you need. And the reason I say that, you just never know. So with business cards, you can never have too many. You know, you can't have too many. All right. So now it's elevator pitch time. So this elevator pitch is one, as you can see, I created back in 2014, and I do have this one. This is the exact one that I have in the book. This is simple. You don't have to be too fancy about your elevator pitch. Now, you can take this and then you can make this into your own, but this kind of is this to me is a really good blueprint into how to pitch yourself. We will have this converted over to a PDF, and I know LSMCE is going to work on trying to get these out. I know this is one of the ones we probably should just make a handout or something for this one. I think I actually have a handout available. Maybe I can provide. But this is one that really helps. What I typically do at my workshops is I will have students practice this. And it's shocking that even the adults I work with, we struggle with this. You know, you can do like microbiology, but we can't say, hello, my name is. And it's true. You guys are laughing because it's so true. And it's even worse for some of us in the STEM field because we just really get so deep into our field, and sometimes it's hard for us to come out, right? And so if you think about your brand is about being creative and unique. And so that's where I came from with creating my brand. I identified that you guys needed this. You had a gap. There was a person in this STEM field that was missing, that's bringing this energy, that's bringing this professionalism. And hey, here comes this crazy guy who has climbed the ranks in corporate America. Guess what? I love STEM, right? And so I said, I want to be the person to fill that gap, and that's my brand. You know, and so when you see me, you see this, and you're like, hey, this guy is a teacher and all this. Yeah, I do this also. I also run a $90 million operation in corporate America. So you can have, your brand is about finding gaps. So Candace, when you go into your PhD program and you start getting very specific in your study, think about like, wow, has anybody tried this? And when you identify that gap, that can become where your brand is developed. You know, and you think about our technology companies, they wanted to really push the envelope, be so innovative, cutting edge, and change the world. That was a gap. Why? Because people were simple-minded. They didn't see big, but these rare individuals saw the big picture, and they pushed the envelope. So Danielle, on the emergency medicine side, think about the gaps that you see. Like, wow, why don't they do this? You know, why don't we have iPads? And, you know, why don't they put a little more technology? That's your brand. All right, you got me pumped up tonight. All right. So now, after it's all said and done, remember what I told you. I'm not trying to climb the charts. I'm trying to climb hearts. And when a person has had an interaction with you, it's very important that you remember that I don't care how good you are in biology. I don't care how good you are in emergency medicine. It really doesn't matter if you just don't know how to do two simple things. Say hello and thank you. You know, respect. Really, hello and thank you is like respect. You know, and that way a person feels about you as a human and your character, that goes a long way with your brand. And the reason being is sometimes you're going to make mistakes because you're human. And it's those memories of people trusting your character that may allow you to take a hit with your brand. So we're not perfect. All of those good feelings that they have about you and the fact that they know your character will allow you to make a few mistakes with your brand and still progress throughout your career, right? Chipotle, you said, took a hit to their brand, right? But because they built such a strong relationship with the customer, look, they're still making, you know, they're still doing very well, right? But that was because of the strong relationship. Now, mind you, when you don't have the character piece, there's some people who, once they make a mistake, people jump on them and they beat them down and they keep them down. They use it as an opportunity to not do business with them. When you care about someone and they make a mistake, you use that as an opportunity to forgive them, not to punish them even more. And that's really critical. I want you guys to remember, your character really matters. All right. All right. So let's talk about some takeaways from tonight. So we got to develop our message. We got to find out who we are. Keep our resume updated and available. So it's funny that that we talk about this at every conference I go to. Have your resume with you. Put your resume on your cell phone. Email it to yourself. Email it just in case you lose your hard copies. At most hotels, you can go downstairs and print off more. So just email yourself your resume. Keep it on your cell phone. Develop and practice your elevator pitch. Be consistent across the platforms. Brand management isn't expensive. We debunked that myth tonight. Develop your website, create your business cards, and keep that LinkedIn profile updated, Miss Danielle.
I'm working on it.
I want you to send me an email when you have it done. I'll hold you accountable.
I'm actually in this class right now. It's a biology career class, and that's this is the kind of thing that we're working on in this class. We're gonna be doing professional pictures and the LinkedIn account and resumes and practice applications for if you're pre-med program, then it's your pre-med applications or internship applications. It's a really cool class.
Wow. Tell the professor I want an invitation so I can come to California. Oh, no. That's Candace in California. Oh, I begged to come to California earlier. But I still want to come to you too. I want to come to you too, Danielle. I'm just trying to piggyback a ride to the warm weather as it starts to get cold here on the East Coast. All right. So before we close out tonight, give me some, what are you guys' thoughts about tonight?
It's informative.
Mm-hmm. Right. It seems so simple, but it's those big hitters that you need to have down.
Okay. A couple things. I think we have your information. This is my information. If you have any questions, I'm very responsive. I answer phone calls. I answer emails. Emails and stuff are the easiest. Social media stuff is cool too. If you need any help, that's really what this is about. LSMCE has really done a good job of putting together a platform that is here to help. If you receive information and then you put that into application, then you have an opportunity to really have some success. So today we have received the information, and now I just challenge you to take some of this information you learn and apply it. And we're going to be doing this. I think our next call is on October 5th. And we'll be talking about creating and presenting a scientific poster and research. This is a very critical subject in you guys' field. So invite friends. Let them know that this crazy guy is kind of cool. And we're going to have many subjects, guys. We're going to, if you can fill out the survey, I know LSMCE sends out surveys. Fill those out because we're going to create the subjects based off of the responses. Last call, we got a lot of responses. So we do kind of have a top 10 list of subject matters. But just while we're on the phone, are there any specific subjects that you're interested in that you want to know more about?
Like topics that you could talk about?
Absolutely. And if there's something, and I'm just being transparent, I'm not here to try to put myself on a pedestal. If there's something that I don't feel comfortable giving you a really good workshop on, we will get experts to come and support us.
Maybe on a workshop on interview days. So a couple of us are applying to PhD programs this coming up cycle. I guess how to make a good impression during that interview.
Absolutely. Now you're in my wheelhouse now. Yep. I think Deb, that was on the top of our list, right?
Yeah.
Hmm. What other type of subjects? And you know, when we think about the subjects, um, you know, be broad, be very broad. You know, one of the subjects that I actually didn't propose, but it's something we may want to talk about, is geographical flexibility. A lot of people don't leave home. You know, I've been blessed. Some people don't call it blessed. I've been crazy enough to live in like eight different locations in the last 10 years.
Impressive.
Moved all over. So that's a subject that, you know, a lot of people really don't even think about it. And when they move, it's not that easy,
No.
you know, especially when you've never left home. You know?
Right, and then you're all kind of by yourself, like your friend group's not there anymore. Family.
Yes. You know, one of the things that I've struggled with is I've been away from home 14 years now. And when I go home, my little cousin, you know, they're big, you know, they're walking, they're talking, they're graduating. It's like, wow, I missed all of that, you know. And so the question I have to ask myself is it worth it? And I say yes, because every interaction I have with another person, tonight I got a chance to meet you. Who knows that if I changed anything in it's like the butterfly effect, right? If I would have changed anything, maybe tonight we don't come together and have this conversation, right? And so now you receive some information tonight that could potentially change the whole trajectory of your future, because you can implement some things that can help you on your path of success. But if I changed anything in my past, we may not end up here together today. And so for me, when I really think about, well, wow, what if I would have stayed home, and what if I would have seen all of these events with my family? Well, maybe I don't make an impact with you. And so my objective in life is to impact the world. And as long as I'm impacting the world, I'm where I'm supposed to be. But that's my mindset. But other people who may be more strong family oriented, like they need the family environment, then it works for them. So neither way is right or wrong. It's really what works for you. But that's a whole subject. That's a whole presentation. But any other subjects? Is there anything kind of pressing for you that you want to know about? I think salary negotiation was one that we're going to talk about.
Oh, true.
We're going to talk about doing internships. Yep. So I think the survey will come out. So just fill out the survey. Also, you know, personally, if you have any feedback you want to give me on the delivery and information, don't hesitate. I think LSMCE is going to send you some information out. I'm open to critique, and the more feedback we get, the better we make this for you. So I really appreciate your time. And any parting shots for me? You guys need anything? Any questions? All right. Well, thank you so much, and hope to talk to you on October 5th. Tell your friends about it, October 5th.
October 5th, we're welcoming the University of Illinois Chicago Bridge to the Doctorate group as a special panel presenter for the poster abstract Anatomy and How to Present at a Research Conference.
All right. Well, take care and good luck in school. Knock them out.
Thank you.
All right.